Hello everyone, it's time for another spooky video, and for tonight's spooky video I'm going to be telling you guys about a nightmare, or a few nightmares actually, that my dad has been having, and I thought that they were really interesting and kind of freaky, so I thought that I would share them. This video might be kind of short, I'm not really sure, so I apologize if it's on the shorter side, but I really thought this was creepy and I wanted to share it with you guys, so I hope that that's okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that this past week, or before this past week, I had really been struggling a lot with things. I had a lot of stuff going on personally. I found out that one of my cats had breast cancer and we had to go and put her to sleep, so that was a hard time for me, and you guys will hear more about that in my ghost cat video whenever I make another one. But that was going on, and then I just had a lot of other stuff. I was struggling with my sleeping. I was just very, very stressed out. I had a lot going on. My dad had told me later on that day, after I had gotten up, that he was sleeping and he had a dream that him, my mom, and my grandmother were all sitting in a living room on the couch, and they were just sitting there talking like they usually do. Now, something that was really freaky to me is that I was in his dream, and I was like the main person that was like the victim of the dream, or whatever you want to call it. And he said that all of a sudden I came out of my room, I started walking through the hallway, and he said that right behind me was this pitch black figure, and this figure was just growing and getting closer and closer to me. And he looked behind me and he shouted, and he was like, "Oh my God, Melanie, there's a shadow behind you!" And like as soon as he said that, he woke up. He like jerked up, and that was the end of his dream. If you guys have been following like my paranormal experiences and stuff that I've been posting on my channel for a while now, then you know that whole thing that I've told you guys plenty of times before, that I have two spirits that follow me around everywhere I go. One is an all dark figure, which only appears when something bad is getting ready to happen, when I'm struggling or going through a really hard time in my life, which I consider to be evil. I don't consider it to be good, obviously. And then I have a figure in white, and this figure I feel like is like a guardian angel. It's watching over me, protecting me, and I kind of see it as, I've said this so many times in my videos, but I kind of see it as these spirits are kind of fighting for my soul. They're trying to get me to go to one side or the other. When I'm going through a really hard period in my life, I usually tend to see that dark figure, and I mainly see it when, you know, I'm alone, when my parents are gone at work and no one else is here but me, and it's nighttime and like it's kind of dark in my house. It's really spooky. Whenever I first started seeing these figures, it was really spooky for me because I was around like 16 at the time, and I didn't fully understand what was going on. And now I do, and I feel like they kind of prey on me. Like they want me to show fear. They want me to be aware that they are there, because anytime I show fear, I feel like they take it as a sign of weakness. Like they can get to me, they can do this anytime that they want. And I've noticed that whenever these figures are around, I start having like these negative thoughts come into my head, and I start feeling really down on myself. And I really do think that they are what causes that. They are what brings this. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm haunted or that these things are trying to possess me or whatever the case may be. I don't think that at all. Like I said, I think that they're just kind of fighting for my soul and they want to scare me. But the good news is, every time I see these figures, I always pray to God, you know, God, take this thing away. Help me not to see it. Help me to not let it bother me. Show me that you're here. And then I just have like this peace, this calming feeling come over me, and I'm not scared anymore, and the thing usually disappears. I don't want you guys to be worried about me. That's not my intention at all throughout making this video. I just wanted to tell you kind of what was going on and things have gotten a lot better. Unfortunately, we had to put our kitty down, but as you guys know, I still see my cats all the time. It's not like they fully go away once they die, like they're always around. But I just needed to, you know, get that off my chest. And then there were some other dreams that he's had in the past. These were actually a while back, but they were still pretty freaky to me, and I didn't want this video to be too short, so I thought that I would go ahead and throw it out there. So I believe I told this in another video that I made. I think it was about nightmares or something like that. My dad also had a nightmare one time where he was asleep on our couch in the living room, and he had his face facing the backside of the couch. And he said all of a sudden there were like these shadow people around him. And they were kind of like staring over him, like standing above him, and all he could see was the outline of these figures standing over him. And it was almost like he was having like a sleep paralysis episode, because these figures were trying to hold him down, and like he couldn't see anything else but the outline of these figures. He told himself, I'm not gonna let these things hold me down. I'm not gonna let them do this to me. So he forced himself to get up, and he like jumped awake, and these figures disappeared. And I know that it is very common during sleep paralysis to see these, you know, these shadow figures, these shadow people. It's a very common thing in sleep paralysis, and I truly believe that my dad was having a sleep paralysis episode. And you guys know I talk about sleep paralysis all the time. Like, it's something that's always intrigued me. I've always found it very creepy because you can't really do nothing. You're asleep, you know. It reminds me of my favorite horror movie in the whole wide world, which is A Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel like this video is very rambly, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. And then there was a time, not long before this, he was asleep. Or he wasn't really asleep, he had just woke up. And I think it was real early in the morning or late at night. I can't remember what he told me, but it was one of those times. Where our couch is, you can kind of see through our hallway. And straight back from the hallway is my room. So if you keep going through the hallway, you're gonna enter into my room, and my door is right there. I usually sleep with my door closed, and my dad said that he just woke up from sleeping, and he said his eyes were still closed and he was just laying there, and through his eyes he could kind of see this woman, and she was standing at the end of the hallway next to my door, and she was wearing an all-white gown. Now, as I just told you guys, I have two figures that follow me around all the time. I usually tend to see this figure that's standing in white, in a white gown, and I believe that this figure that he was seeing was the same one that I see all the time, my guardian angel or whatever you want to call it. And this figure, he said he could see it, like he could see through the hallway even though his eyes were closed, and I've had a few experiences like that myself. And I think he said that she went into, like, through my door and disappeared, and then that was it. That was the dream. So yeah, I know that this video is kind of all over the place and probably very short, but I really wanted to share that nightmare with you guys because I thought it was really creepy. I've always been told, ever since I can remember, that I'm gifted and that I can see things, and I can kind of pick up on things more than other people can. And I'm not trying to say that, like, oh, I'm psychic or this or that. Like, no, I'm not saying that I'm psychic. I just believe that, I don't know what the word is, like an empath. I think I'm an empath, and that I can pick up on certain things like that. It was just weird that, like, he had this nightmare so close to a time when I was very stressed out and I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was just really depressed. I wasn't really depressed, I was just very down on myself at this point in time. So yeah, I really wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it was really creepy. So hopefully next week I'll have a little bit longer of a video for you guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video anyways. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and become a morbid maniac. And if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Melanie, and I upload creepy videos every Saturday, so make sure you stick around, and I will see you guys in my next video.